Here's his award.
Thank you, Lefty, and thanks for coming in. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Our next inductee, I've heard a lot about over the years as has been the process with my father being a graduate of Hurley. I've heard names for years of different athletes and different people he grew up with, and Mr. Bartoludi, his name came up many times, so I've heard a lot of stories, and I think probably a better one to tell stories would be my godfather. Beaver, if you want to come on up, I'll let you take over.
All you midget fans out there. Before I introduce Dave, every time I come in here, I look up at these names, and I see names of people when I was just a little kid that I used to watch. Lefty Martino was one of them, Dominic Gentili. Then a little later on, Pupsy, Mop Barron, my brother John, and then of course I went to school with Dick Zell. Dave Bartoludi was a senior when I was a junior, Jerry Merzenti. I just look up at here, and I'm sure all of you do the same thing. You look up and you see players that you looked up to when you were a little kid. And now I'm so happy to introduce Dave Bartoludi. Dave and I were teammates in high school, and then we were competitors against each other in college when he went to lacrosse. It's a long time ago. Well, Dave was an all-conference quarterback on our only undefeated football team in the year 1954-55. It was a great team. I remember Dick Zell being on that team and a few other guys that can go on, Bob Straja, Jerry Merzenti, and also that year our basketball team, which probably should be up there, Dave, right? That was 1955. And we were 17-3 that year, and we set some scoring records. I have it here on a piece of paper. We scored 105 points against Phillips in the sub-regional, and during that year we scored 104 against Park Falls. Then, of course, baseball. I used to love pitching against other teams because in practice I had to pitch against Dave, Jerry Merzenti, Donnie Furkovich, Jerry St. Catherine. These guys would drill the hell out of me in practice. It was fun to go into the game. But Dave was a heck of a baseball player, basketball player, and a football player. After college, he went into education, of course, and he was a coach at Watertown. And that's a familiar name, Dave. Did Watertown, is that the team that beat us in the state tournament in baseball?
You are correct.
Yes, we did. So you went back there, huh? Okay. Anyway. Oh, Christ, memories. After Watertown, he went to St. Mary's Springs, and then, of course, he ended up at Fond du Lac High School. Fond du Lac High School is just kind of halfway between Appleton, Wisconsin, and Milwaukee. And great teams. Dave coached basketball there from 1964 to 1979. And of course, he was a head basketball coach from 1970 to 79. One of his team, I remember, I was down at that state tournament. One of his team played lost in the final game of the state tournament to Beloit that year, 60-59. It was with great pleasure and my honor to introduce Dave Bartoludi.
Thanks, Steve. And thanks to the Alumni Club. Thanks to all my teammates and who are here and classmates. And to be truthful, I really don't know, in all humility, why I'm standing here. And I say that because to me, Hall of Fame means an individual accomplishment. If you're in football, ranked for X number of yards and threw so many passes and scored so many touchdowns. And in basketball, like Beaver, set so many point records. And in baseball, he hit so many home runs and so forth. So if you go down my resume or whatever else it is, it all indicates he was a participant on this team and that team and so forth. In fact, last night, Dick Zell said to me, I sure hope you're being inducted into this Hall of Fame for more than what you accomplished in football. I didn't show it, but I really took exception to that. I went back. Now, if you know Dick, he's a statistic man. He's got statistics for everything. He knows how many times he carried the ball, the yards he went, and everything else. He's got the scrapbook on his accomplishment. Well, he doesn't know, but I went back, and I have some statistics there in football, too. He didn't realize it. But I looked it up last night, because he really got me. He doesn't realize that I took about 843 snaps and about 650 handouts without fumbling the ball at all. And most of those handoffs went to him. And because every time in a huddle it was, give me the ball, give me the ball, give me the ball. So, Danny Johnson, I don't think he's here, but Danny, I remember mentioned he's a teammate, left halfback. He said, you know, I played my whole year. I don't think I carried the ball but 1 or 2 times. And St. Catherine, he had to give him the ball because he was a good player, good running back. We had to give him a few times. With Dick, give me the ball. In fact, it passed very few times, and every time I did it, it was, no, let me carry the ball. So, you know, Dick, I think I made you. You know, all those carries you had, all those runs and all those touchdowns, and you had just been an average player, and you probably wouldn't even been inducted into the Hall of Fame here. So you'd have been just one of us. Now, Jim Langlois, different story. He was a lineman, and linemen deserve everything they get. So he definitely deserves the credit he gets. So, you know, the other thing I went back, I was thinking, you know, I must have said, hut, 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 thousands of times, and I never slurred that word. I never mispronounced it. And even though it was a single syllable word, I didn't screw it up. And so, I did participate in that wonderful team. I was a participant. It was an undefeated football team. And my brother and I go back and forth, because he always says the 49 team is the state champion. Well, to this day, I always say that 54 team wasn't the state champion. We didn't have state champions at that time. They were undefeated. But again, to this day, I believe that this team, our team, if we had participated, that who's to say if we had been state champion, but I'm sure we'd have done some pretty good damage, because on that team was some mighty fine players. Of course, Dick and Jim were all state and went out to the University of Wisconsin, and then they continued their career, and other players had a lot of success, so we did have some fine players there. So moving on, again, the basketball, Beaver mentioned it, when 18-3 were part of it. So I was a member of that team, had a lot of success, but didn't set any scoring records or rebound records or anything, but we had a super good team. And in baseball, again, we went to state, and mentions we went to state that senior year, but this is another thing I take exception with my brother, because he always says, you know about our 49 team, not only did we win the state championship, but we went to state 3 times. And I said, well, you know, in baseball, we went to state 3 times also. We didn't win the state championship, but we went to state 3 times. So, and all of that, again, it was a participant. Didn't bat 500 or anything else, but there. But I think the thing that probably climaxed this Hall of Fame selection, I'm sure of it, was my tennis participation. I think, somebody might have to challenge this, but I think Bob Sprague and I are probably the only 2 4-sport people in high school. It may change, but at that time, there was only 3 sports: football, basketball, and baseball. But coming in spring of that senior year, Chief Zero coach says, hey, you know, the conference is having a tennis tournament. Any of you guys want to play? So Sprague and I said, yeah, let's team up as a doubles team. We'll play. What the heck, you know, tennis ball is what size of baseball, and it doesn't come much faster, and they got this big racket they hit with, better than a bat. It can't be that hard. So he and I teamed up, and we participated. It says we went to the semifinals. Well, there was only 1 round, I guess. And we both ended up in getting a letter in tennis. So I think we're 4-letter winners. I don't know if anybody else is a 4-letter winner here. So again, that's all I can say is thank you. I accept this award primarily as a representative of all my teammates who just simply toiled in obscurity and were part of some great teams and had some great success in Hurley. And I'm proud to have been part of that group during that time. Thank you.